watching
10
Fox
seconds.
14, the four-state zone.
Stand by to give us control. Stand by to cue Mike over VO&A with music.
Tonight at 10, right here on Fox 14.
Control, roll A. Take a cue and
Here's
sound
what's
it.
up for tonight. A southeast Kansas woman and her 3 children found dead. The latest on the
Stand by
investigation
VO&B.
and where police spent their day looking for a
Roll B.
suspect.
Take it.
We'll head back to school. How transferring from Crowder
Stand by
College to Missouri
VO&A.
Southern will now be
Roll A.
easier.
Take
Another
it.
Joplin tornado survivor will have a new
Stand
home
by
thanks to
VO&B.
Rebuild Joplin. How folks from Tulsa also helped
Roll
out.
B.
And
Take
the
it.
local rescue mission that made sure
Stand by
once
camera
again
2.
a Thanksgiving dinner came early to those in need.
Take 2.
Decent Thanksgiving on tap weather-wise.
Stand by
Doug has
next to you.
details on that. Dan Hawk has your sports. This
Roll
is
next
Fox
to you.
14 News
Take
at
it.
9. It starts right
Nice.
now.
Stand by camera 2. Cue Mike.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. The search continues tonight for a suspect
Clear.
wanted in relation to a crime out of southeast Kansas. The
Stand by
bodies
full
of a
screen.
mother and her 3 children found in Parsons.
Take
That
it.
suspect, David Bennett Jr., who does have a criminal past. We'll have more on the search
Stand by
in just
for
a
packet
bit.
A.
First, though, tonight, Fox 14's Liz
Roll
Hunt.
A. Take it.
The people we spoke with here in Parsons, Kansas say the news of this quadruple death is
126.
shocking.
Standard.
Police
Clear.
say they didn't know that Cammie Umberger went missing until Monday when the mother of 3 did not show up for work. Today, the Kansas Attorney General confirmed Cammie and her 3 children, Avery, Jackson, and Holly, were found dead. The Attorney General is in charge of this investigation and not releasing any other details at this time. Cammie worked as a nurse at the Good Samaritan nursing home in town, and her children sometimes attended the Church of the Nazarene here in Parsons. Those we spoke to who knew the family are left asking why.
This is a horrible tragedy, and there isn't enough explanation as to how this
Clear.
can happen or why this would happen. And this family is just, like I said, just an amazing family. And I know that they're going to turn to God and they'll turn to the church and for strength.
I think people search for answers. They search for hope. They search for reasons to make sense of it. And I know one of our teachers from our church just said, "Give me anything to tell my kids."
This is the first murder I didn't heard of in a long time.
Kill her and the 3 kids. I mean, unnecessary death. Probably doing a lot of effect on us. You know, I'd be afraid to go. I used to go out walking at 9, 10 o'clock at night, you know. Now, hell, I can't do that.
Like I said, the Kansas Attorney
10 seconds.
General is now
Standard.
in charge of this case.
Stand by
and
for
as soon as he
packet B.
releases any other details, we'll be sure to update you. Reporting from Parsons, Kansas, Liz Holiday, Fox
Roll B.
14 News.
Take it. B.
Afternoon and into Tuesday evening,
103
searching the
standard
city
out
of
to you.
Independence for
Thank you.
this man, 22-year-old David Bennett Jr. of
No
Cherryvale.
CGs.
Bennett
Thank
is
you.
the suspect in the deaths of 29-year-old Candy Umberger and her 3 children. It was reported to Montgomery County sheriffs that Bennett may be spotted in the Independence area, which led them to this Dollar General store along Main Street around 12:45 this afternoon. That's when additional authorities arrived on scene to continue their search. Shortly after 3:30, while we were on scene, all crews were dispatched to this Walmart location a few blocks south for another reported sighting. Authorities blocked all entrances to the store and searched every vehicle before they were allowed to leave. After a short time, the Walmart returned to its normal activity with no arrests made. Crews traveled back to the Dollar General store to regroup, and additional authorities, including Labette County, Coffeyville, and Parsons Police, all arrived to
10
assist
seconds.
in the manhunt.
Standard.
Around 6:30 p.m., crews
Somebody
moved to
cue Mike
another
over full
secured
screen.
location, and the manhunt for this suspect continued. In Independence, Kansas, Kelly Reed, Fox 14 News.
Take a cue.
All right, Kelly, Liz, thank you both. Again, that suspect, 22-year-old David Bennett Jr. from Cherryvale. And again, the search
Stand by
for
camera
David
2.
does continue tonight.
He's
All right,
up.
let's send things over to
Stand by
Doug
camera
now,
3.
where, boy, it keeps feeling more and more like winter, but a warm-up is on the way. Give us good news.
Cue him.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be very cold for us tonight. Already, temperatures have been dropping through the 20s, and it looks like we're going to bottom out
Stand by
all the way
storm.
down into the mid-teens by the time you wake up in the morning. Plus, it's a little windy out there, so that makes it feel a little bit colder than what it actually is. Most of us upper 20s to near 30 right now, and we will continue to drop off fairly quickly. It does start to warm up. We have to wait a couple days, but at least we will start to warm up, so we'll look at that. Plus,
Stand
the
by camera
holiday
2.
coming up here in a bit.
All right, buddy, we'll see you in about 7 minutes. Thank you.
Take
Moving
two.
from community
Stand by
college to a
VO&A.
4-year university should now be easier for honors students at Crowder
Roll A.
College.
Take
Today,
it.
officials from Missouri Southern and Crowder put pen to the paper on a partnership
Clear.
agreement, what they hope will be the first of many. Leaders from both schools tell us not enough students are finishing their education. The agreement
Stand by for
is
bite and
designed
B.
to make transferring credits seamless for
Roll B.
students.
Take it. 25.
It's like every other articulation agreement.
But graduate.
You just make sure that the
Clear.
expectations at the one institution are the same as at the other, so it's just an automatic transition when they change institutions.
You know, we have moved from
Clear.
what was the access agenda during the 60s and 70s to the completion agenda now.
Clear.
The idea really is the right one, that we should
Video
be
tag,
working to
stand
help
by the cue,
students
mic over
complete
video.
their college education. Not just participate, but graduate.
Cue.
Officials believe knowing
Stand by
which
VO and A.
courses will transfer directly should save Crowder students both time and
Roll
money.
A. Take
Construction crews were pouring concrete as others broke ground today in Joplin. Soon-to-be new
Clear.
homeowner Nancy Morrow lost her home in the tornado. This will be the first house completed through a partnership between Rebuild Joplin and the Tulsa
Stand by
Community
for bite and B.
Foundation. The home is partially built and is in the 2400 block of Empire
Roll B.
Avenue.
Take it. 22 seconds. Difference for Nancy.
And not adequate words to
Clear.
thank everybody. You just don't realize the goodness of people.
It's
CG's
fantastic.
in.
Rebuild Joplin was organized to help people in the
Clear.
community. And,
Video
it's made
tag.
a
Stand
big
by the cue,
difference
mic
for
over
Nancy.
video. Cue.
And by the way, Nancy, a longtime resident of the city of Joplin. Rebuild Joplin raised
Stand by
$150,000,
VO&A.
which Tulsa Community Foundation matched. Those funds will cover the cost of building
Roll A.
10 homes.
Take it.
Well, the good folks at Watered Gardens in
Clear.
Joplin made sure those in need were provided a Thanksgiving dinner early.
Clear.
Today, following a short church service, that dinner was served. And it was made in the faith-based organization's remodeled kitchen. Turkey, mashed potatoes, sweet
Stand by
potatoes,
for
green
bite
bean
and B.
casserole, corn, rolls, and pumpkin pie for
Roll B.
dessert.
Take it. CG's in. 21 seconds. Thanksgiving meal ever.
Told me that this is
Clear.
their very first Thanksgiving meal they've ever had, that they have lived on the streets and the gullies and ditches, and they are so thankful.
Video tag. Stand by the cue, mic over video.
Their first Thanksgiving meal ever.
Cue 'em.
The Gospel
Stand by next
Rescue
video.
Mission will serve a similar lunch on Christmas
Roll
Eve.
next video.
All right, time
Take
now
it.
for us to honor one of our four-state heroes tonight. We recognize Harold Miracle, U.S. Army corporal called Joplin home. He served during World War II, spending most of that time in the Solomon Islands as well as the Philippines. Harold Miracle,
Stand by two.
tonight's four-state hero.
Fade it down.
All right, Doug's back with a look
He's
at
up.
the
Stand by
extended
A.
forecast when
Roll
we
A.
come back.
Take
And
it.
later in sports, local high school hoops. You'll see highlights.
Stand by to roll the
35
VR.
minutes.
Fade it out. Roll the VR. Weather. Stand by to give us control. Stand by. Swish and A. Control roll A.
Police released more information on the arrest of a suspect in the death of a Southeast Kansas mother and her 3 children as relatives grieve for their loss. Plus, a woman survives a rare heart and liver transplant.
Stand by camera 2 to open
How
this mic and
credit
zoom.
cards can get you more bang for the buck.
Start your zoom. Queued out.
We're learning more about the case against the suspect in the deaths of a Parsons, Kansas woman and her 3 children.
Stand by
This
full
is
screen.
KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. A court
Take
has
it.
ordered
Camera 2 tall
23-year-old
screen.
David Bennett Jr. detained on 4 counts of first-degree murder.
Stand by
He's been
VO and B.
arrested with Labette County Jail, and his bond is set at
Roll B.
$5 million.
Take it.
A manhunt centered on Independence, Kansas yesterday after a man matching his description was spotted in a Dollar
Clear.
General store and Walmart there. Bennett was
Yeah, that shot's
eventually
good.
arrested at gunpoint about a block from the local hospital. At the time, he was walking and talking on his cell phone to a friend who had alerted authorities.
Stand by camera 3.
Investigators say Bennett's clothes were soaking wet and frozen.
Take 3.
4 victims are 29-year-old Cammie Umbarger of Parsons and her 3 young children.
Stand by camera
Relatives
2
today are
and
sharing
Lisa.
their grief. KUAM's Lisa Alga spoke with Cammie Umbarger's sister and aunt as they arrived to speak with Parsons police and other investigators. Lisa joins us now in the studio with more.
Viewer.
It's a tragedy that makes no sense to
Stand by
those who
VO and
knew
A.
and loved
Roll
Cammie
A.
Umbarger.
Take it.
Her home is still surrounded by crime scene tape. Investigators moving in and out, still collecting evidence, while the
Clear.
family is planning a funeral for 4. They came to the Parsons Police Department to give statements. Cammie's father embraced by his sister, Cammie's aunt. Cammie was supposed to be her sister's maid of honor in her January wedding. Her daughter, Avery, was supposed to be the flower girl, and Cammie's son Jackson wanted to wear a cowboy hat.
Stand by for
Their
bite
deaths
and B.
leave them all saddened, shocked, and angry.
Roll B. Take it. CG's in. 26 seconds. Get my head around it. Clear.
Do things that none of us will ever be able to comprehend. We'll never make sense of these things.
Why? I don't understand why he would hurt my sister or the babies. The babies never did
Clear.
anything.
Stand by camera 2.
I just can't get my head around it.
Cure.
The family says Cammie was a very compassionate person who tried to be a friend to everyone, which is what also made her a good nurse, they say. Those friends
Stand by
organized
camera
a
3.
candlelight vigil taking place at the crime scene tonight at 7 p.m. Down.
Cue him.
All right, Lisa Oligus live in the studio. We are going to be covering
Stand by
that
full
vigil
screen.
tonight. Also, funeral arrangements have been set
Okay, full
for
screen.
Monday at the Thayer Christian Church. The family will
Stand by
receive
camera 1
friends
first,
from
weather.
3 to 6 p.m. Sunday. That'll be at the Forbes Hoffman Funeral Home in Parsons.
Take 1.
Turning to weather now, another cold day out there.
2, 7 desk.
Yeah, highs today barely above freezing, and it looks like it's going to be another cold night for us tonight. Not as cold as what we saw last night, which is good news. We are starting
Stand by storm.
to head in the right direction, but still,
What's up?
unfortunately, pretty cold for the latter half of November. At least we have sunshine. I guess that is the good news. Unfortunately, the temperatures really went nowhere outside for us today. Most of us right now are sitting right around the freezing mark, and we're going to slowly drop back as we head through the rest of the evening hours. 31 by 7, 28 by 9, 26 by 11 p.m. But it does look like we start to warm back up over the next few days. However,
Stand by
storm
IDQ down over
systems
next to you.
in the forecast. We'll talk about it here in a bit.
All right,
Roll next
see
to
you
you.
then. Thanks, Doc.
Take it.
This is
Stand
the
by
biggest
VONA.
travel day of the year, they say, and weather is making it tricky for some. From Nation Watch, we look at holiday travel in the air
Roll
and
A.
on the road.
Take it.
A wintry storm that's
Thank
been
you.
blamed for 11 deaths so far is moving east and threatening to cause headaches for millions of travelers. AAA says that 90% of them are on the road. Along the East Coast, winds gusting to 50 miles per hour and torrential rain are creating dangerous driving
Stand by for
conditions.
bite and B.
Snow is piling up in parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and western
Roll B.
New York.
Take it.
Like every
CG's in 14 seconds, trying to focus.
There's
Clear.
a lot of pooling on the road, so traction is difficult. Police reports are
Clear.
full of spin-outs on all of the roads.
Just trying to
Stand by Q down over VONA. Clear. Roll A. Take it. Q.
There is good news from AAA as many
Easy.
four-staters join travelers on the road. The average price for
Clear.
gas across Missouri, $2.98. That's down from $3.15 a year ago. AAA says Missouri is the only
Stand by
state in
VO
the
and B.
nation with an average gasoline price below $3. The nationwide average is
Roll B.
$3.29.
Take it.
The weather is causing
Then.
problems at airports. Nationally, delays and cancellations are building in the
Clear.
Northeast on top of the hundreds of flights already canceled this week. In Joplin, though, no cancellations or delays. American Airlines workers say the 3:30 p.m. inbound flight was full. Flights go to and
Stand by
from
Chiron.
Dallas and out of Joplin. Actions said it all. Families are happy to have their loved ones home. for the
Roll
holidays.
Chiron. Take it.
For our KOAM TV interactive question, we've been asking, what are your Thanksgiving travel
And left
plans?
a hair on 3.
So far, 59% of you say you're staying home. 20% are traveling 50 miles or less, and the other 21% are traveling
Stand by camera
more
3.
50 miles. To participate in the poll, you just go to KOAMTV.com.
Take Chiron down. He's up.
The Joplin School's
Stand by VONA.
assistant superintendent
Roll A.
has resigned.
Take it.
Dr. Angie Bessendorf says she has accepted a position beginning in January as chancellor at Western Governors University in Missouri. Bessendorfer has worked for Joplin Schools as assistant
Stand by camera 2. Music
since
bump. Stand by for your
2007.
pool.
WGU Missouri is a non-profit online
Start your pool.
university.
Take 2. Sound it.
And that is a look at our top stories.
Stand by
Quick
for
check
bite
on
and B.
headlines in the first 7 minutes of KOAM News at 5. A little later, shopping.
Roll B. Take it.
Which credit cards will
8
save you
seconds.
the most
Tips
money
coming
at
up.
the checkout
Stand by the
counter
Q down
this
for
holiday
VONA.
season? I'm Alexis Christoforous with some tips
Roll A.
coming up.
Q him.
And just ahead in Health Watch, a woman gives thanks to her doctor.
Stand by to roll
for
the VR.
a rare double organ transplant.
Fade it out. Roll the VR.
Live from KOAM.
Camera 3 is an
This
insert.
is KOAM.
Will come out on 3.
the 4 states' most watched news.
Ten seconds. Stand by camera 2. Q.
Why the Obama administration is trying to head off a traffic jam on healthcare.gov.
Stand by view and B.
Another part of the healthcare law. That's just ahead on the CBS
Roll B.
News.
Take it.
Then tonight at 6, our special report on rebuilding Joplin. A company called Wallace
Clear.
Bajaj was hired back in July of 2012 to rebuild parts of Joplin that were destroyed by the tornado. Taxpayer money is slated to be used to fund many proposed projects, but no project has been built yet. No blueprints have been drawn. According to
Stand by for a bite A.
Joplin's contract with Wallace Bajaj does not specify a timetable for
Roll A.
projects.
Take it.
There's no real time
CG's
frame
in 13
on how
seconds.
fast he
Unreasonable
should be
to another.
developing.
Clear.
It says he must develop in a reasonable amount
Video
of
tag.
time.
Stand by to Q down for video.
What's reasonable to one person can be unreasonable to another.
Q him.
Some residents question whether Wallace Bajaj is right for the job, but the city's contract with Wallace Bajaj includes a penalty for
Stand by,
dismissal
duet.
without cause. We're going to go into these issues tonight on KOAM News and a special report at 6 and 10.
Fade it up. Take it.
Also at 6, we're going to hear more from family members of a mother and 3 children found dead in Parsons. And we take a look at the high school football state title matchups.
Stand by, Chiron.
CBS Evening News and then KOAM News.
Fade duet. Roll Chiron. Take it.
Now time for our visit from our pet vet on call. Every week, veterinarian Eva Dudek
2 shot, please.
Pet Hospital answers your email questions.
Yeah, you bring it down a little bit during the bite.
We all get ready for Thanksgiving meals and desserts. What should I do if
Stand
my
by for a
pet
bite and B.
accidentally eats chocolate? What symptoms should I watch?
Roll B. Take it.
Well, truth be told, there
27.
really is very little
Can be
real
fatal.
chocolate in most chocolate candy bars, but that doesn't mean that your dog can't get sick. The first thing you want to do is just make sure you take the rest of it away from him.
Bring her
and watch
bite down
him
just a little
closely.
bit. Starting to beat.
Signs that you're looking for that mean problems.
27,
are,
be fatal.
If you can imagine a caffeine overload, very nervous, twitchy, salivating,
Stand by to
jerky.
Q down over
That means there's a
Chiron.
problem, and you need to get him in for prompt treatment, or it can be fatal.
Take it. Q him.
Thanks for the question. The rest of you can submit a question anytime. You just send it petvet at KOAMTV.
Stand by full screen.
You can also see answers to previous questions on our website.
Take it.
Now, check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we have this melt-your-hard face. They call her Mackenzie. Look at that. She's a young Australian cattle dog shepherd mix and ready for our
Stand by full screen. Take it.
And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, meet Gilbert here. This friendly fellow is a young hound mix, and also, he could be you.
Stand by camera 2. Fade your music down. They're up.
Take him home for the holidays.
I already got a big 130-pound dog.
Yeah, German Shepherd.
Uh-huh.
He's a good guy. You
Yes.
don't really need another one. You need probably about 60 pounds less of dog back in your house. That's going to be cold out.
Stand by temps.
Yeah, it really is. Down into the mid-20s again tonight. But at least we start to warm up over the next couple days. Thanksgiving 50-50 as well on Black Friday. And then it starts to get a little tricky as we head into next week.
Stand by 2. They're up. Stand by 1 music and truck. Fade your music in.
News at 6. Let's make it a great.
Take a full trip back, please. Stand by black. Take black.